Ba-do-ba-ba-do-ba-ba-do. Ba-do-ba-ba-do-da-ba-do. Ba-do-ba-ba-do-da-da-do. Maybe I talk too much. Maybe I have lost my touch. I guess I don't know what's cooking, 'cause I just can't see for looking. Other girls have their picks. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I can't seem to get a booking, 'cause I just can't see for looking. I'm kinda crazy, like a daisy, up that well-known tree. Poor me, I'm sitting hoping, horoscoping. Won't somebody take a chance with me? I've been around the town, but everyone brings me down. I give up hope, I'm just a dope. There ain't no one for hooking. I just can't see for looking. No, no. Crazy, like a daisy, up that well-known tree. Poor me, I'm sitting and hoping, horoscoping. Won't somebody take a chance with me? 'Cause I've been around the town, but everyone brings me down. I give up hope, I'm just a dope. There ain't no one for hooking. I just can't see for looking. No, I just can't see for looking. Ba-do-la-boo-you-ba-ba-do. Ba-do-ba-boo-you-da-da-do. Just can't see for looking.
Bravo. Yeah. There's Heather Bambrick and Rob Pilch together with a new tune from Heather's brand new one, You'll Never Know. Heather, great to see you, number one.
Thank you, Brad.
A delight. Tell me about that tune. I don't know that tune.
That is a tune that Michael McLennan actually brought to me years ago and said, we should start playing this. And it's an old hit for, well, probably maybe not as big a hit for Nat King Cole.
Really?
Yeah.
Gorgeous tune.
It's kind of fun.
The bass player, right?
Nat King Cole, bass player, yeah. Doubled on drums sometimes.
No.
Yeah.
No, the gentleman you referenced.
Michael McLennan, yes.
Yes. That's who I meant.
Yes. He is not Nat King Cole.
Okay, so I got your new seat. Congratulations on the new recording.
Thank you.
It sounds sensational. It's been a while between records, Ms. Bambrick.
10 years.
Is that about the complications of releasing material in this day and age, or is it about looking for some type of inspiration for the next recording? What would explain that lag time, or just busy in life and all those things?
I think it's probably that. It's probably the idea of, wanting to make a living in the business. And so, gone are the days. Rob and I were actually just talking about that before we came in here. It's, gone are the days where you make a record and then that finances the next record and then you make the next record. It's a chunk of change that you put out for these projects. And so you then go about trying to do other things to make up the money. And for me, I was doing a lot of things. I was, here doing voice work, teaching, and
some Broadway albums in between there too.
Broadway albums, which again, the money went there, and that's where a little bit of my focus went for a while.
So for an artist, it's really got to be a labor of love, because when you make this, you don't it's more of a calling card at this point than it is something that you can count on revenue or.
I I think people who really truly do this do it because they have no choice. Like I would say that's probably the case. You know, you do it and it's because you're kind of called to do it. And then there's the age-old joke: how do you make $1 million playing jazz? Start with $2 million. Hey now, and so you do it for the love of it, and then you have to have faith that all things will come together and the finances take care of themselves.
Tell me about the song selection. You talked about the one that the Nat King Cole tune, but I'm guessing in that 10 years there must be times in your life that you're like, that might be one I would like to put in my back pocket, or is it a rush when you get close to recording it, like, time to pick material?
The last record that I did back 10 years ago, it was the rush. It was like, oh gosh, we need more tunes. This time we actually had more tunes than we recorded more than we used. Some of them, like that one kind of was one we wanted to do. Thought, yeah, that'd be kind of fun. And Mark Kieswetter and Ross McIntyre and I got together and hashed some things out. I always try to do something from Newfoundland. I always do a Newfoundland folk song on the records. And I'd been wanting to do Petty Harbour Bates Gift for quite some time. I sang it when I was in high school at Holy Heart of Mary Regional High School for Girls.
Say the name of it again, Heather.
Holy Heart of Mary Regional High School for Girls. But now boys go there. So it's Holy Heart of Mary Regional High School for Girls and now boys too. And
boys are icky.
Well, my God, there's some hard, I'll tell you. They're dirty and messy, and there's fights all the time.
So that song it means a lot to you. You've been singing it since you were a kid, right?
Yeah. And it was actually when we recorded it, I sent it to my old high school choir director. I sent her an MP3, and I said, remember this?
She must have loved it.
Yeah, she kind of did. Stuff like that I knew I wanted to do. Lovers in a Dangerous Time was one that I really, it came out so well. And it was one that literally I was doing an open mic thing and the piano player never showed up. And I just started noodling on the piano. And we did it and it worked. And Well,
we've been playing that one too. You turned it right inside out. I'll tell you. It really has a completely fresh take on that too.
And that just happened. Surrey with the Fringe on Top happened, when we were at Bloom one night and someone requested it, and I had never actually sung it before.
Wow, so great.
So a lot of things happened organically, and maybe 4 of the tunes we'd thought already that we were going to do them, and then the rest just happened leading up to the recording.
Speaking of the rock, you're heading to Newfoundland to do a couple of shows before Hugh's Room, and this will be sort of in celebration of the new album too.
Yeah.
Well, I know it must always be special to go out there, but tell me about what you're thinking as you head.
Well, I actually have been living in Ontario no longer than I was in Newfoundland.
Interesting, eh?
Yeah, and it is. Well, you're an East Coast guy.
Yeah, but I feel the same. I've been here longer.
Yeah.
I've been in the house I'm in longer than I've been in a house I grew up in, all those things.
Did you have that moment of flip where you went, I've been here longer?
Yeah, I have a friend who always reminds me of the day we showed up here with a suitcase full of dreams, and so it's always a little bit of a reminder of how much we've put in here in Ontario, how much Toronto means to me now.
Yeah, well, August last year was the flip year for me, and I went to the local pub and had a drink and shed a tear and went, because there's something about being from there. So for me, because I truly believe that everything that I got musically came from my roots. It is such a musical culture. The oral tradition is huge there. So it's always important for me to kind of go back to where my roots were and say, okay, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So here's what I've done. Hope you like it. And then, and then we're back here, and then the big party happens here on the 14th at Hugh's Room.
Always embraced when you go home are people, because sometimes a couple of times I've gone home, there's a little bit of, you've turned your back on us. In some ways, as I've been here longer now, it's less of that. But I get the feeling when you go home, it's all hail the conquering hero a little bit.
I don't know about that. I mean, my dad's like the king of Kensington.
So he's on board with you.
He's on board with me, and I will always be Johnny Bambrick's daughter. So Dad says when he comes up here, he feels weird because he says, I go out with you now, and I'm Heather Bambrick's father. I don't know what that's all about. So I think generations go by, and when I go home now, not a lot of people kind of know who I am because the young group I've left. So if you're 23 years of age or younger, you have no idea who Heather Bambrick is. And if you're my parents' age, you know that she's Johnny Bambrick's daughter and she's living in Toronto and she's doing all right. So, I don't know. I think the people there are happy. I think they're proud.
If they're not, they should be. Look forward to Heather. If you're listening out there now, she'll be there soon, but she'll be at Hugh's Room on the 14th. I know tickets sailing out the door. A couple left for the gig. We're about maybe 75%
90% sold right now.
Okay, so grab some tickets. The 14th, Hughes Room box office online too. You can grab them, and it's just fun to spend some time with you. And I'm so excited for your new record. We can't wait to play it all the time here. And be sure you're listening to what's tonight, Thursday, 9:00. You can hear Heather on Jazzology. Jazzology tonight, and then of course on Sundays. And the holiday kitchen party's coming up again. Another big blast here that Heather puts together, which is a little slice of Newfoundland right here in our Jazz FM 91 studios. Rob, delightful to be with you too, sir. Sounding amazing. And Heather, thank you so much.
Thanks, Brad.
How about a little Lovers in a Dangerous Time? Here from the new one on Jazz FM 91.